Hello, this is Mike Riddle. I'm an attorney that has been practicing estate planning law for 39 years. I've also had a radio call-in program for about 39 years. We're seeing how this works to have a YouTube presentation that will help you to understand some of the tools in the toolbox for estate planning. This is a very interesting area. Most people think wills and trusts are really boring, but I find on the call-in show we always run out of time and never run out of calls. So I know that this is an interest that affects every person and every life. You have a mother or a father or a sister or a brother that is going to need the tools that we're going to be talking about as they go through their seasons of life. And with these tools, it makes life very easy. I have 18 grandchildren. One of them's Michael Motorcycle. We were working on putting a motor on a bicycle, and we bought a kit from China, believe it or not, and we were putting it on a bicycle that we bought at Walmart. And so we were hooking up some of the parts, and it was a little more complicated than we at first thought. And so he said, well, wait a minute, Grandpa, I'm going to go get a hammer and we'll make it work. Being a very young man, he didn't realize that in life there's an easy way to do things and a hard way to do things. And the way that he was about to go about it was going to create a situation that wouldn't easily be corrected. But with the right tools, I told him that with the right tools, every job is easy. But you have to have the right tools. I'm sure many of you have experienced building cabinets for a house, and if they're off just a little bit, all you think about is them being off just a little bit and not about how nice they look and the functionality of them. So it's important to get things done right. That's why our law firm is able to serve you and serve our community in a way that will give you peace of mind. Peace of mind is very, very important in our activities, and this is one area where people have a lot of anxiety about what happens if. And this program is designed to help you with some of those what happened ifs. Well, today we're going to talk about a tool in the toolbox. That tool is a power of attorney. They're called a durable power of attorney. Does that mean they're written on really sturdy paper and it'll last a long time? Well, no, that's not what they mean by durable power of attorney. A durable power of attorney means that even if a person loses mental capacity, that won't affect the terms of that power of attorney. Many states have powers of attorney. All states have powers of attorney, and you need to be sure that the power of attorney you get meets the requirements that the state has put out for those documents, because every state makes makes laws governing the property within that state. For example, Texas, where we're from, was settled by Spanish missionaries. And so we have what is called Spanish community property laws. Just next door, we have Louisiana. And it was settled by the French, and they have the Napoleonic Code. And then most of the other states east of the Mississippi have the English common law. So each state, because of the 10th Amendment for states' rights, can make its own laws. So be sure that whatever you do meets the requirements for that state. So we're talking about the durable power of attorney. And what's that for? Well, there are two types. There's one which is the power of attorney that is effective immediately. And once you sign this power of attorney, if a person loses capacity, it doesn't make any difference. Or the second type of power of attorney is what's called a springing power of attorney. Wow, what does that mean? Well, a springing power of attorney means that it only comes into being when someone loses their capacity. And so people always ask me, well, which one is better? You know, I'm going to give this to a friend of mine, and I just hope they use it right. And so I sit back and say, well, tell me about your friend. Does he have a history of being trustworthy and loyal and helpful and friendly and courteous and kind? Or does he have a history of not being so much? So it's very interesting. One time we had a young couple come in, and the young lady was from Venezuela. And he was talking to us about giving her, they'd only been married a month or two, a power of attorney. And our law firm, all the associates and people in our firm just laughed because they knew this was a very powerful document. And if this man didn't choose the right person, then that person would be able to take all of the property that other person had. So this tool called a durable power of attorney is very important, but it's also very, very powerful. And you need to be careful who you name as a power of attorney. So once we've established the person, which is the most important part, then we need to look at what does that power of attorney do. And this is a picture of a durable power of attorney that we have. And it will show you that it is several pages long. And it is not just one piece of paper that's signed. In fact, it's signed by 2 witnesses and a notary in addition to the person giving that power of attorney, because it has significant legal consequences. It allows the person that is named to be your power of attorney to virtually step into your shoes and do the various things that you could do if you were alive and well and able to do them yourself. But the power of attorney, the concept is this tool would lay in the toolbox for a long time. But it's only when a medical emergency causes a person not to be able to take care of their own affairs, or a accident that rendered them incapacitated, and maybe there's a chance of recovery. So it's really important to understand this next point. This next point is when the person who's giving that power of attorney to the next person, when that person dies, that power of attorney dies with them. So you cannot use a power of attorney after a person has passed away, but you can use it up to the time that they pass away, and it covers all of their assets. There are just so many things you can't even imagine, all the things that might come up while a person is incapacitated, because you're going to have to take care of whatever it is they had. Heaven forbid if it's a rancher with a lot of cattle and or a business or whatever, you're going to have to step into their shoes and do what you can with the power of attorney, because there are a lot of things to deal with contracts, to deal with trusts, to deal with Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, to deal with other governmental agencies. There are just a whole host of things that are included in a comprehensive, durable power of attorney, so that it specifically says what a person can do. Because if it doesn't say specifically what that person can do, then it is the people trying to accept that power of attorney may not accept it. They may say, we don't like that power of attorney. So we list all the things that can be done by an individual in their financial life and put them in our power of attorney. And then it is witnessed and signed in the back, and it has a notary, and it is as we mentioned, an extremely powerful document, and it can be revoked. But it has to be revoked by filing the power of attorney in the county with a revocation that is also signed by 2 witnesses and a notary, revoking the power of attorney. So the short of it is, this is a very powerful tool. It lasts during the lifetime of an individual. It can do an awful lot of things. I've had circumstances where we have gone to court and said, my goodness, this person has an estate, it's very complicated, and the taxation of it is such that we could change it so easily and make it better. And the judge granted the order for us to change an estate plan and create a better estate plan so that the taxation of that estate would even be better, even though the person lost the capacity to make a new will. That's pretty astounding. Now, that's not in every case, but that's how powerful this document can be. So the short of it is that a power of attorney is an important document to have if you need it. Generally, a husband is going to give it to his wife, and wife to the husband, and then their most responsible child, and then alternates under that to be sure that someone has the power of attorney to take care of things as necessary in the event that a person loses capacity and needs this to be done. So again, the purpose of this discussion is to share with you how important this document and this tool is in bringing about peace of mind, so that you will know that if something happens to a loved one, you will have the tools to take care of them in a way that will be correct and not challenged. So thank you for this discussion. And remember, we also have Zoom conferences for our law firm. We also have people who can come into our office and have a no-cost consultation. And we tell you the price once we have sat down and gone through the estate planning process, to give you the cost for all the documentation that you might need. You can get up and leave that conference, and that's fine. But most people say when they walk in, how much does it cost? And I say, well, I don't know, because it depends on what you need, how many tools you need to buy. And when they walk out, they say, what if I die before I get them signed? So it's a complete change of mind once you've had an opportunity to really go into what your specific needs are. Thank you, and God bless.